Hey Niki, thanks so much for making time to talk to us today.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm excited to talk.
All right, I have some questions to ask you, so let's jump right into it.
Perfect.
So how long have you been with the company?
2020 will be my 4th harvest back with my family.
Wow, that's impressive. What do you like most about working in the vineyards?
My favorite part about working in the vineyards is that every day is different. I get new challenges brought to my desk every day, and I can apply some things that I've learned from my dad, from my cousin, from school, from just personal experience, and it's an incredible feeling to have something new every day.
Awesome. All right, what's your favorite time of year in the vineyards?
Favorite time of the year in the vineyards is harvest time, so that's typically early September, maybe late August through end of October, sometimes early November. It's the busiest time of year, the craziest time of year, but it's just so much fun. Like, the energy is just great.
You like the late mornings, or early mornings rather?
Yeah, early mornings, late nights. It's like working around the clock for a few months of the year, but it's still just that energy, and the act of getting the beautiful fruit into the winery is just it feels like I'm fulfilling my duty.
All right, so your field is heavily male dominated. How do you navigate it?
I think that through my job experience, the one thing that really helped me to navigate the male-dominated field is just standing up for what I believe in and speaking up when I think something's not right or could be better. And before in the past, I would kind of be quiet and hold back, but I think when I started speaking up, it allowed me to excel at a faster pace in a male-dominated industry.
All right, what do you think is one thing people should know about the Livermore Valley?
The Livermore Valley is just not as hot as everyone thinks it is. It's pretty cool year-round. We have a really similar temperature to probably like the Oak Knoll district in the Napa Valley. And then as you go north in Napa, like up to Calistoga, it's much more warm there than it is here. And I think it's a common misconception that Livermore is very hot, but we actually have just a really moderate, cool climate, beautiful for growing grapes.
All right, so what women have inspired you in your life?
So many women have inspired me. I was trained by Jackie Mancuzzo at Wente Vineyards when I was very young. She's a huge inspiration to me. Nicole Hayden at Huneeus Vintners when I was working outside the family. My mom, my grandmother, my Aunt Carolyn, my wonderful sisters, and all of my girlfriends who are all girl bosses in their own right. I feel inspired every day by the women around me.
What does being a woman leader mean to you?
Being a woman leader means that I'm just as capable of doing it as a man is, I guess. I want to fight for all people and not just women, but I want to make sure that all of the women in our industry are given the same chance. So it's great to be given this opportunity to kind of make things right for everyone.
And what advice would you have for fellow women or aspiring leaders?
Again, I would say just make sure you're standing up for yourself, stand up for what you believe in. Always speak up when you see something that could be improved or that looks like it's not quite right.
So you work with, as you've said, your sisters, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, your cousins. What is the best part about working with your family?
I think one of the best things about working with my family is being able to call my dad any time of the day and ask for help or just guidance, just anything I could call him about, and he would answer and help me to figure it out. So it makes it very rewarding for me to be able to work so closely with my father.
And then on the flip side of the coin, so to speak, what is the biggest challenge or the hardest part about working with your family?
I think the hardest part about working with my family would probably also be that I can call my dad anytime. And that's because I can sometimes call him instead of relying on what I know, and it's almost like a cop-out. So it's a good and a bad, but you know, it does make it fun for me to be able to connect with all of my family members on a lot of different things that have to do with the business. So it's nice and sometimes a crutch.
What has been your favorite memory growing up in the vineyards?
Favorite memory in the vineyards would just probably have to be horseback riding. When I was little, my dad would always rope up the horses and bring us out into the vineyards, and we would go on long rides and just talk about what he does, what's growing in the vineyard, what's happening, what do you need to do next, and it was just such a fun experience. And I took it for granted then because I thought everyone lived like that, but I know now that it was such a treasure, and I am very blessed to be able to have those kind of memories.
Right, so the family business has been around for 137 years, which is huge. How do you hope to impact the next 137 years?
Well, I could start by living to be 137 or 150 or 60 something. Sorry, math. But I hope to inspire just really great technology advancements in the vineyards to try and help improve efficiencies. I hope that we can get Livermore on the map to being a competing force to Napa and Sonoma, and not necessarily competing, more like just someone that I want people to come here and check out Livermore. I want more wineries to be in the valley. I want more big names to come and invest in vineyard land. There's so much to offer in this valley, and I think that I'd love some of my work to go towards just making Livermore a better place. And I also hope that we can continue operating our business in 137 years. So that too.
That's awesome. So Wente Vineyards is a California certified sustainable in both the vineyards and the winery. What does sustainability mean to you during work and outside of work?
So sustainability to me during work and outside of work is pretty much the same thing. I live my life in a way that I want to make sure that I'm not taking things for granted, and I want my children to be able to have the same experiences that I have. So when I'm at work, I'm thinking every day about how can we sustain our employees, how can we sustain the environment, how can we sustain our community in order to continue running our business so that my children have the same opportunities that I've had. If they so choose to come into this industry, I'd love it to be here for them.
What is your favorite varietal?
Favorite varietal? It's so hard. Pinot Noir is probably my favorite, besides Chardonnay too. Chardonnay and Pinot are probably my favorite, but I do love a good Merlot, so top three.
What's your favorite thing about Pinot?
Pinot Noir is just so special. It's so elegant. There's so many different clones, so many different genetic variations of the exact same variety that are also beautiful and different and have their own personality and their own sense about them. And so it just makes it a really fun grape to farm, but also a really fun grape to enjoy. The flavors are so different in every Pinot Noir I've ever had. You can make it very earthy, you can make it very fruity. It's just such a great, versatile varietal, which you can say the same about Chardonnay. I mean, tons of different ways to make Chardonnay. We make like 7.
You definitely can tell your enjoyment in Pinot with your Pinot Noir Rosé.
Yes.
It's delicious. It's just released.
Yay.
The 2019 vintage, super exciting.
Yes, I love that wine. Very lucky to be able to make that.
All right, how do you make time for the balance of work and family?
That's a great question. It's very difficult, especially during harvest time, to make time for work and family. But it's easy because part of my work is with some of my family. But with my husband, we try and do date night once a week. You know, we try and have a long trip, at least a week long, once a year to just kind of relax and unwind. With my dad, I often will grab a bottle of wine from a wine store or at a winery that I visited recently, bring it over to his house and just open it and enjoy it with him. My sisters, both of them, I usually just try and catch up over dinner or lunch. So just trying to connect with everyone in my own way it's a challenge at times, especially when you're working crazy hours, but it's good to disconnect, and having them make time off is certainly a help so that I can get a little bit extra time to go just do stuff that's important to me and not necessarily taking all of my PTO away.
And what is Make Time Off?
Make Time Off is something that Wente offers to our employees, and it's an extra added time off away from work that they give to you every year in order to make time for things that really truly matter to you, whether it's attending a concert from one of my niece or nephews or going to see my grandmother in Pebble Beach, or going to fly to Palm Springs and take a day off early to visit my grandpa. There's so many different ways you can use the make time off, but it's just a little bit of extra time to invest in your family, your friends, whatever matters. And I think it's super important that our company makes that time, because family is important across all people.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with that.
Yes.
All right, and then just to wrap things up, what excites you most about the future?
Ooh, the future excites me because the endless possibilities with technology and advancements. I see robots farming vineyards, and all of the people that were working in the vineyards are now working in the office with me and trying to figure out how we can optimize these robots that are fixing everything for us. I think that there's so much potential in AI and robotics and just technology that can be harnessed for agriculture and hasn't really yet been tapped. We're working on it, but I think that would be super exciting for the future. I mean, I hope expansion for Wente Vineyards in the Livermore Valley in the future. I'm very excited just about all of the prospects. It's endless possibilities, and my mind can run forever. I think I got that from my dad. But the future is just full of possibility, and I think that's exciting in itself.
Awesome. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Yeah.
We appreciate you as a woman leader and for being our vineyard warrior and everything you do.
Woo, vineyard warrior. Thanks for having me.